from Miss Foxy that I thought we might want to play off of. And that was, you said, you were saying about, the personalizing was hard for you. And then you said, I know why. And so I'm curious what's behind that. And, just and your desire to practice. Like, where's that coming from? How did you make a decision to do that?
Yeah. So my number one fear is being visible, which is what I practice doing all the time, because that is actually in my message. So I encourage you to be visible, to shine your light, and to share and be fearless. And so this is one area that I still am challenged with, because I hate being ghosted, because I feel so invisible in that moment, right? So it's me putting myself in that position, knowing that knowing that there's a good chance I'll be ghosted. And so that's not easy for me to do. And it's not something that I naturally gravitate towards. So, and there's so many things on my to-do list. So I can always find so many other things to do instead of doing my personal invites. Though I really want to share my message. And to be able to do that, people have to be at my workshops, or they're not hearing my message or getting my tools or getting the transformation that they are wanting. And so to do that, I practice doing invites, even though, even though it's a challenge, even though I hate it every time I'm ghosted. And because even if you come back and say, oh, that date's not available to me, or that's not an opportunity I can take advantage of right now, at least you respond. You acknowledge that I reached out. But just ignoring the fact that I reached out, I don't like.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, what does ghosting mean, to make sure that, I was on the same page.
It's where you don't respond whatsoever.
Yeah.
You act like I didn't message you.
Yeah. And so, and Susie said too, so Susie, when you said I'm horrible with ghosting, if I don't do something right away, it doesn't happen. And then that breaks my heart. So you mean if you don't hear something?
No, that I am a horrible ghoster. Like, I am a ghoster. And
like, you don't get back to people.
Yeah. Like, if it's something that isn't in my normal, something, like if it doesn't fit in my box, and I know that I'm horrible, and it breaks my heart hearing it, because I know that I've ghosted you before and I haven't meant to. And so in that, to be able to, because how I see it is, I'm like, oh, they don't have time right now, so they'll get back to me when they can. So I'm like eternal optimistic, and like not thinking that it has anything to do with me, because I know when I ghost someone, it doesn't have anything to do with them. It has everything to do with me. And so then, but then I am making it okay that I ghost, because I don't take it personally. So I'm not thinking of the other person more than I'm thinking of myself. So that is like, this is a great thing to hear and be reminded of, because I don't take ghosting personally. And so I don't ghost on purpose. You know what I mean? It's not like malicious or anything. And so,
and I don't assume it's malicious. It's just because that's my particular fear. That's how it affects me. And I know that it's most likely not personal.
Yeah.
Though also when I get messaged, and
Yeah.
it's even if it's a complete stranger that's messaging me, I say something back.
And I need to
So-
learn, like, I need to do that. I need to be better at that. Like, that's something I can improve on. I can practice.
It's something you can choose.
Yes.
It's a choice. But yeah, but you know, but that's because it's my trigger,
Mhm.
Mhm.
you know.
Well,
Other people have
yeah.
other triggers.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say, is I wonder what the other people who are ghosting you, what is the reason behind that? And is it a trigger for them? So like you just heard one possibility. Susie's is she just doesn't think about it. You know, she's just like, okay, on to the next thing, right? But then there's another possibility, which is what? I mean, there's lots of possibilities, right? Why do
Yeah.
people ghost you?
Yeah. And I practice seeing their innocence. I mean, that's not a hard thing for me to do. It's
Yeah.
just getting myself in that mode, knowing that it's going to most likely happen, and putting myself in that space. That's where the resistance is. Once I start messaging people, it's not like I get all, you know, hurt over people who don't respond back necessarily, but I know I'm putting myself in that place where I am going to be ignored.
You're being
Mhm.
vulnerable.
And it's not like I'm like, oh, these people don't like me. It's not like I take it to that place. It's just that initial knowing that that's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a thought that maybe we'll get a chance to come back to in this next hour. And if not, that's fine too. But I'm going to stop this recording so that we